Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today to discuss a cause that is close to my heart, one that requires urgent action from all of us. The world is advancing at an unprecedented pace, with humanity reaching new heights in science, technology, and innovation. Yet, amid these remarkable achievements, we must ask ourselves, why do millions of children continue to face unimaginable hardships every day? Children who are denied the right to an education, to clean water, to medical care, and even the safety of their homes. Every day, the world witnesses horrifying images that should never exist in the 21st century. A young girl forced into marriage is a victim of a system that robs her of her future. A boy injured by violence struggles to comprehend the world's cruelty. A child left alone on a beach, far from home, their innocence shattered by the brutality of war. These are not isolated incidents. They are a reflection of the ongoing exploitation and suffering that so many children face. But we have the power to change this. The collective voice of each of us can amplify the call for justice. It is time for us to join hands and raise our voices in unison to demand better for our children. A better world is not only a dream, it's a possibility, but only if we act together. The time for change is now. UNICEF's journey began 70 years ago, and in that time, they have worked tirelessly for children around the world. Their mission has been one of hope, of giving a voice to those who have been silenced by injustice and neglect. As we gather here today to commemorate their remarkable legacy, we also renew our commitment to the children who continue to suffer, often out of sight and mind. This anniversary is not just a celebration of what has been achieved, but a call to action for what still needs to be done. Over the decades, UNICEF has provided life-saving aid, education, and protection to millions of children. Yet, there are still millions more who remain trapped in cycles of poverty, violence, and exploitation. The work that UNICEF has done is nothing short of extraordinary, but it is also a reminder that this fight is far from over. The children who are still in need of our help, who still lack basic rights, deserve the same dedication and commitment. This is why we must keep pushing forward, not only to honor the past, but to secure a better future for every child. As we reflect on these 70 years, let us not forget that the journey continues and there is more work to be done. Together, we can ensure that UNICEF's legacy extends far beyond this anniversary. As we celebrate the progress made, it is essential to recognize the harsh reality that millions of children face every day. Despite the advancements in technology and the incredible strides we've made as a global community, there are still countless children around the world who do not have access to the most basic necessities of life. In many regions, children continue to suffer from poverty, hunger, lack of education, and violence. Every time I step onto the field and witness these conditions firsthand, I am struck by how deeply human suffering persists. It's a paradox. The same minds that have brought us the marvels of space exploration and technological breakthroughs continue to allow the exploitation of children. How is it that, in a world that can send humans to the moon, we still allow children to live without clean water, shelter, or safety? The injustice is unbearable. When children are subjected to violence, abuse, or neglect, it is not just their individual futures that are stolen, but the future of humanity itself. Every child denied their rights is a blow to our collective humanity. We must do better. We must do more. The time to act is now. All around the world, we witness the devastating consequences of neglecting children's rights. From the war-torn regions of Syria and Yemen to the slums in India and Africa, children are caught in the crossfire of violence, war, and exploitation. Their lives are shaped not by opportunity and hope, but by suffering and despair. I've seen these heartbreaking realities firsthand. In places like Zimbabwe, where 1 out of 3 girls under 18 has been sexually violated, and in refugee camps where children are stripped of their dignity and their future. These children are not numbers. They are individuals with dreams, potential, and the right to a future free from violence and fear. But what's even more shocking is the societal mindset that perpetuates these injustices. In many communities, Girls are told that their worth is defined by their appearance or by their ability to stay silent and obedient. Boys, too, are often taught that violence is acceptable. This toxic cycle must be broken, and it starts with empowering young people, both girls and boys, to understand their rights and to stand up against abuse and inequality. But there is hope. Across the globe, there are millions of people, just like you, who are ready to take a stand and demand a better world for children. We are witnessing a movement, a collective voice rising up to challenge the status quo. A voice that says enough is enough. We must stand together, not as separate nations or isolated individuals, but as one united force committed to the well-being and future of every child. UNICEF's work is a testament to the power of collective action. When we come together as a global community, we can make a real difference. It's not just about raising awareness. It's about taking action, fighting for policies that protect children, creating systems that provide education and healthcare, and ensuring that every child can live in safety and dignity. But this fight can't be won by UNICEF alone. It requires all of us to step up, to use our voices, and to fight for change. Together we are stronger. One of the most powerful tools we have in this fight for children's rights is education. By empowering children with knowledge, we give them the tools they need to build a better future for themselves and their communities. Education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and exploitation. It opens doors to opportunity and enables children to dream beyond their circumstances. UNICEF's education programs have been transformative, but the work is far from done. In many parts of the world, children, especially girls, are still denied access to education. In some regions, it's a matter of safety. In others, it's due to cultural norms that discourage girls from going to school. But we know that when girls are educated, entire communities are uplifted. Educated girls become leaders, change makers, and advocates for their communities. This is why advocacy is so important. We need to continue fighting for policies that ensure every child has access to quality education, no matter where they live or their gender. We must continue to challenge the status quo, to ask questions, and to demand answers. The future is in our hands, and it starts with educating the next generation. As we look ahead, we must remember that our work is not finished. The future of our world rests in the hands of the next generation. It is our responsibility to ensure that they have every opportunity to succeed, to live without fear, and to thrive. But this cannot happen without collective action. We must support organizations like UNICEF, but we must also take action in our own communities. We can all make a difference. Whether it's through volunteering, donating, or simply raising awareness, each of us has a role to play in creating a better world for children. The world has changed, but the fight for children's rights continues. Together, we can be the change makers, the advocates, and the voices that bring hope to the most vulnerable. The time to act is now. Let's work together to ensure that every child, regardless of their circumstances, has the chance to grow up in a world filled with opportunity, safety, and love. When we talk about change, we often think about grand actions and large-scale movements. But true change begins on the ground, right where the children are. The cycle of poverty, violence, and exploitation can only be broken if we start early. Early intervention is crucial, especially when it comes to children in vulnerable communities. By providing children with the support they need at a young age, be it access to education, protection, or healthcare, we create a foundation for a brighter future. These early years are formative, and what we invest in them today will pay dividends for generations to come. Children who are nurtured, educated, and supported have the potential to become the leaders of tomorrow. But this requires a shift in mindset. We need to recognize that protecting children and investing in their future is not a charity, it is an investment in the world's future. The sooner we act, the greater the impact we can have. Every moment we wait is a moment lost. Let's act now for those who need us most. It's not enough to focus solely on individual children. In order to create lasting change, we must empower entire communities. When we provide communities with the tools, resources, and knowledge to protect their children, we create a ripple effect that can spread far beyond our initial efforts. Empowerment is key, whether it's through training local leaders, providing families with resources to support their children, or ensuring that communities have access to essential services. We must take a holistic approach to change. This isn't just about charity, it's about sustainable development and long-term solutions. One of the most powerful ways to empower a community is by educating women and girls. Women who are educated are more likely to advocate for their families, make informed decisions, and contribute to the economic and social development of their communities. When women rise, entire communities rise with them. The world is a complex place, and the challenges facing children are not one size fits all. Every country, region, and community faces its own set of circumstances, from political instability to economic hardship to cultural norms that hinder progress. In some areas, the challenge may be poverty. In others, it's access to health care or the threat of violence. We must approach these challenges with sensitivity and understanding. We cannot adopt a blanket approach to solutions. What works in one community may not work in another. That's why it's important for organizations like UNICEF to work closely with local leaders and communities to develop tailored solutions that address the unique needs of each region. But no matter where we are, the core principle remains the same: children deserve to live in a world that provides them with safety, opportunity, and the ability to thrive. This requires cooperation, innovation, and a deep commitment to justice and equality. In today's world, technology plays an undeniable role in shaping our lives. For children, technology can be both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, the internet, social media, and mobile technology provide opportunities for education, connection, and empowerment. On the other hand, they can expose children to new forms of exploitation, from cyberbullying to online trafficking. It is crucial that we harness the power of technology for good. Digital platforms can serve as a valuable tool for spreading awareness, providing educational content, and connecting children with resources. But they also present new challenges that require vigilance and action. To protect children online, we must invest in digital literacy programs, create strong online safety policies, and ensure that children are educated on how to navigate the digital world safely. Technology can be a force for good if we use it wisely and responsibly. While the challenges are great, so too are the stories of hope. Across the world, we see examples of children whose lives have been transformed through education, healthcare, and protection. These stories remind us that change is possible, that when we come together and fight for children's rights, we can create lasting impact. Take the story of Malala Yousafzai, whose courage in the face of adversity has inspired millions. Or consider the children in refugee camps who, despite the trauma they have faced, are finding hope through education and community support. These children are not defined by their circumstances. They are defined by their resilience and their potential. These stories should fuel our determination to continue the fight. We have seen what is possible when we invest in children's futures. And we know that, with continued action, more stories of hope can emerge. We must keep pushing forward, ensuring that no child is left behind. To truly make a difference in the lives of children, we must recognize that no single organization or individual can do it alone. The fight for children's rights requires a global effort, a coalition of governments, NGOs, businesses, and individuals coming together to create a better world. Partnerships are key to advancing the cause of children's rights. By collaborating across borders and sectors, we can share resources, expertise, and innovations that will help us address the challenges children face in every corner of the world. Whether it's through public, private partnerships, international coalitions, or grassroots initiatives, every effort counts. UNICEF's work exemplifies the power of collaboration. Through their partnerships, they have reached millions of children, providing them with education, healthcare, and protection. But this is only the beginning. We must continue to strengthen these global partnerships and ensure that they remain focused on the goal of achieving a world where every child can live free from harm and have the opportunity to realize their full potential. Advocacy is one of the most powerful tools we have in creating change. By raising our voices, we can shed light on the issues children face and put pressure on those in power to take action. But advocacy is not just about speaking out. It's about ensuring that children themselves have a platform to be heard. In many parts of the world, children are silenced by fear, oppression, and poverty. It is our responsibility to give them a voice. Whether it's through youth empowerment programs, social media campaigns, or grassroots movements, we must work to amplify the voices of those who are most affected by the issues we are fighting for. By empowering children to speak for themselves, we not only give them agency, but also show the world that they are not just victims. They are active participants in shaping their own futures. Advocacy is about creating space for these voices to be heard and ensuring that the issues they face are not ignored. While grassroots movements and international organizations play a critical role in protecting children's rights, governments must be held accountable for ensuring that children's rights are enshrined in law and protected by policy. Laws that protect children from violence, exploitation, and neglect are fundamental to creating a safer world for them. But laws are only effective when they are implemented and enforced. Governments must prioritize children's rights in their policy agendas and allocate resources to programs that protect and empower children. This includes funding education, healthcare, and social services that support children and their families. In many countries, the legal frameworks for children's protection are already in place. However, implementation remains a significant challenge. Governments must not only pass laws, but also ensure that they are effectively carried out in every community. This requires political will, financial investment, and collaboration with civil society. At the heart of every child's well-being is their family. Families provide the love, support, and protection that children need to grow, learn, and thrive. While global and national efforts are critical, we must also recognize the importance of family in shaping the lives of children. Strong families are the foundation of strong communities. They provide a safe and nurturing environment where children can flourish. But not all children have the privilege of growing up in stable, supportive homes. In many cases, families face their own challenges, poverty, violence, and displacement that prevent them from providing the care and protection children need. This is where support systems come into play. By providing families with the resources and education they need, we can help them create a better environment for their children. Whether it's through parenting programs, financial support, or access to social services, we must ensure that families are equipped to meet the needs of their children. Raising awareness is the first step in any movement for change. Without awareness, there can be no action. The more people know about the issues facing children, the more likely they are to take action and make a difference. Through campaigns, media, and education, we can bring attention to the urgent need to protect children's rights. Awareness is not just about informing people. It's about inspiring them to act. It's about creating a sense of urgency and responsibility so that children's rights are not seen as a distant issue, but as an immediate concern that requires our attention. Social media, in particular, has become a powerful tool for raising awareness. Through platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, we can share stories, engage with communities, and mobilize support for children's rights. The reach and impact of social media cannot be overstated. It has the power to create a global movement for change. Children's rights aren't just about physical safety and access to education. They also encompass mental health. The emotional and psychological well-being of children is just as important as their physical health. Unfortunately, many children around the world suffer from mental health challenges that go unnoticed and untreated. Trauma from violence, abuse, displacement, and poverty can have lasting effects on a child's development. Without the proper care and support, These children may face lifelong struggles with mental health. It is crucial that we create spaces where children can talk about their experiences, express their emotions, and receive the psychological support they need. Mental health support must be integrated into every child's education, healthcare, and social systems. By investing in mental health services for children, we can help them heal from their past traumas and ensure that they grow up to be strong, resilient individuals. Mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's time to prioritize the well-being of children's minds as much as we do their bodies. The youth of today are not just the leaders of tomorrow, they are leaders right now. Young people across the globe are already taking action, demanding change, and fighting for children's rights. It is inspiring to see so many young voices stepping up to create a better world for themselves and future generations. From climate strikes to protests for education, youth-led movements are proving that age is no barrier to making an impact. The passion and energy that young people bring to the table is a powerful force for change. We must support them, empower them, and provide them with the tools they need to continue their advocacy. As adults, it is our responsibility to listen to the voices of young people and include them in the conversation. Their perspectives are invaluable, and their energy is contagious. Let's stand with them and amplify their efforts to create a better, more equitable world. The media plays an enormous role in shaping public perception and driving social change. Whether through traditional outlets like television and newspapers or newer platforms like blogs and social media, the media is a powerful tool for raising awareness and inspiring action. In the fight for children's rights, the media has the power to bring attention to the most pressing issues, whether it's child labor, trafficking, or the lack of access to education. By highlighting the stories of children who are suffering, we can put pressure on governments and organizations to take action. But the media also has a responsibility. It must portray children's issues with accuracy, sensitivity, and respect. It must avoid sensationalism and focus on solutions, not just the problems. Media outlets must use their platforms to empower and inform, rather than exploit the suffering of children. Only by doing so can they truly make a difference in the fight for children's rights. As we look to the future, it is clear that the world we create for children today will shape the world they inherit. We must ensure that the future is one built on compassion, justice, and equality. The foundation we lay now will determine whether our children inherit a world of opportunity or one of continued injustice. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the problems we face. But we must remember that every small action counts. Every child whose life we improve, every voice we amplify, and every policy we push for brings us one step closer to the world we want to see. The future is in our hands. Together, we have the power to shape a world where children are not just surviving, but thriving. A world where every child can grow up with dignity, respect, and the opportunity to reach their fullest potential. Let's not wait for change to happen. We must create it. Words are powerful, but they are not enough. While speeches, campaigns, and awareness efforts are important, they must be followed by action. Without action, the problems we discuss will never be solved. It's easy to talk about the challenges children face, but it's much harder to actually do something about it. Action requires commitment. It requires us to put our money and resources where our mouths are. It requires governments, organizations, and individuals to step up and take responsibility for the future of our children. Every one of us must ask ourselves, what am I doing to help? What action am I taking to make a difference? Action can take many forms, from volunteering and donating to advocating for policy changes and supporting children's programs. Every action counts, no matter how small it may seem. But if we all commit to taking action, we can create a tidal wave of change that will transform the lives of children everywhere. We've discussed the challenges children face, but now it's time to act. The longer we wait, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. Every child deserves the chance to live a life free from violence, hunger, and fear. But we can't make this happen without immediate action. By supporting organizations like UNICEF, advocating for change, and working together as a global community, we can make a real impact. Let's not just talk about it, let's do something. Every action counts. Together, we can be the change. You may think your voice doesn't matter, but it does. Every individual has the power to make a difference. Whether you donate, volunteer, or simply raise awareness, your actions can change a child's life. When millions of people come together, united by a single cause, we become a powerful force for change. Every small step we take brings us closer to a world where children are no longer suffering. Don't underestimate the power of one. Be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Our children are the future. The actions we take today will determine the world they inherit tomorrow. Let's make it a world of opportunity, safety, and dignity for every child, everywhere. If you believe in the power of change, join us in the fight for children's rights. Together, we can build a brighter future. Thank you for being a part of this movement. If you like this video, like and share, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring content.